Edremit is a district in Balıkesir Province, Turkey, as well as the central city of that district, on the west coast of Turkey, not far from the Greek island of Lesbos. It is situated at the tip of the gulf with the same name, with its answer a few kilometers inland, and is an important center of trade, along with the other towns that are situated on the same gulf. It is also one of the largest district centers of Balıkesir Province. The district of Edremit, especially around Kazdağı, is largely covered with forests. History. Classical period. The modern city of Edremit is named after the ancient city of Adramyttian or Adremitine, or in Latinized from Adramyttium, a city of Asia Minor on the coast of Elis. The site where Adramyttian sits was originally settled by Leleges, the indigenous inhabitants of the Aegean littoral, and people from the neighboring region of Mysia. Following the Dorian invasion, in c. 11th-8th centuries BC, Aeolians from Thessaly settled this area and gave the name to the region of Elis. Adramyttian is mentioned in the Iliad as one of the cities sacked by Achilles during the Trojan War. Achilles captured Chryseis, daughter of a priest of Apollo, at Adramyttian and gifted her to Agamemnon, the leader of the Greeks. Adramyttian was founded in the 6th century BC as an Lydian settlement and named after its founder Edremis or Edremit, son of Alyattes, king of Lydia. Cimmerians invaded this region but were defeated and driven out by Alyattes. Croesus, son of Alyattes, was Archon of Adramyttian prior to succeeding his father as the last king of Lydia. Adramyttian was conquered and annexed by the Persian Empire in 546 BC and formed part of the newly formed satrapy of Lydia. In 477 BC, it is thought that Adramyttian allied itself with Athens against the Persians and joined the Delian League. During the reign of Xerxes I, administrative reforms moved the city to the satrapy of Hellespontine Phrygia in 477 BC. Adramyttian became home to Greek exiles from Athens and Delos in 422 BC on the invitation of Pharnaces II, the Persian satrap of Hellespontine Phrygia. Adramyttian was sacked and its population massacred in 411 BC by a Persian army led by Arsaces, who was a subordinate of Tisiphons, satrap of Lydia and Caria, for not paying outstanding tribute to the Persian Empire. The city probably became Hellenized in the late 5th century BC, as recorded in the Anabasis. Xenophon and the 10,000 passed through Adramyttian in 399 BC whilst traveling to Mysia. By the late 4th century BC, the city had been fully Hellenized. In 366 BC, Ariobarzanes, satrap of Phrygia and acting satrap of Hellespontine Phrygia, joined the great satraps' revolt and withstood a siege at Adramyttian from Mausolus, satrap of Caria, and Autophrodates, satrap of Lydia. The port at Adramyttian was built in the early 3rd century BC. Adramyttian came under the sway of the Attalid dynasty of Pergamon during the rule of Eumenes I, and formed part of the kingdom of Pergamon until the death of its last king, Attalus II, in 133 BC, upon which he bequeathed his kingdom to the Romans, thus forming the Roman province of Asia. Adramyttian acted as the center of its own district within the province. In April 88 BC, during the First Mithridatic War, Adramyttian allied itself with Mithridates VI, king of Pontus, against the Romans. Diodorus, a local philosopher-statesman sympathetic to Mithridates, was elected general and had several prominent pro-Roman members of the Bull and the entire Senate executed, spurred on by Mithridates VI and his supporters, in what became known as the Asiatic Vespers. Roman settlers in Adramyttian and Asia Minor were massacred by the local population in May. At the end of the war, Xenocles, a talented local orator, was sent to Rome to defend Adramyttian and the province of Asia from accusations of supporting Mithridates before the Roman Senate. In the 1st century AD, Adramyttian Edremit is noted to be the seat of a conventus iuridicus by Pliny the Elder in his Encyclopedia Natural History. The city was damaged by a destructive earthquake in the 2nd century AD, and the areas damaged were subsequently rebuilt by Trajan. It was to this port that the ship belonged on which the author of the Acts of the Apostles and Paul the Apostle set out from Caesarea Maritima for the first part of their journey to Rome. The ship, which appears to have been a coastal trading vessel, conveyed them only to Myra in Lycia, whence they sailed on an Alexandrian ship for Italy. Some scholars have argued that Paul traveled to Rome from Edremit itself, but this has since been disregarded. Edremit became the seat of a Christian suffragan diocese of the Metropolitan Archbishopric of Ephesus, the Roman Catholic Diocese of Edremit, which only remains as a Latin Catholic titular see. Edremit became part of the Eastern Roman Empire, later known as the Byzantine Empire, in 395 AD. Medieval period. The administrative reforms of the 7th century in the Byzantine Empire moved Edremit into the new theme of Thracian, in which it served as an important naval base. Prior to becoming emperor, Theodosius III lived and worked in Edremit as a tax collector. Theodosius was proclaimed emperor by the army of the theme of Opsikion in May 715, but, according to the Chronicle of Theophanes the Confessor, was reluctant to become emperor and hid in the surrounding forests, where he was forced to become emperor. The city's importance ensured it later belonged to the theme of Samos upon its creation between 843 and 899, and became the seat of one of the two Turmaches, a commander of a Turma, a major subdivision of a theme. The interior surrounding the city was under the jurisdiction of a separate Turmaches based in Edremit, subordinate to the Strategos of Thracian in the 9th century at least. Edremit was raided and destroyed by the Turkish pirates Archers in 1093, but was rebuilt and repopulated with people from the surrounding countryside in 1109 by Eumathios Philoclus, the Strategos of the Sabireo theme. A large force of nomad Turks who attempted to retake the city were defeated and its camp captured. During the Second Crusade, in 1147, French crusaders passed through Edremit whilst traveling to Ephesus. Despite the city's destruction, Edremit continued to serve as an important military base and became part of the theme of Neocastra, founded by Manuel I Komnenos between 1162 and 1173, and was its capital from 1185 onwards. Edremit was plundered by Genoese pirates in 1197. After the sack of Constantinople in 1204, Edremit was captured by Henry of Flanders, brother of Latin Emperor Baldwin I of Constantinople, in early 1205. An attempt to retake the city by the Byzantine successor state, the Empire of Nicaea, was led by Constantine Lascaris and culminated in the Battle of Edremit on 19 March 1205, in which the Byzantines were resoundingly defeated. The Byzantine usurper Theodore Mangaphus also attempted to conquer the city not long after the attempt made by the Niceans, but was also defeated by Henry. By 1304, Edremit and other coastal cities were the only regions of Asia Minor that remained under Byzantine control. Edremit fell to the Karasid Turks in September 1334, under whom the city was known as Edremit. Whilst occupied by the Karasids, Yazi Bey of Saruhan built several hundred barks at Edremit. Modern period. Tartachi Turkmens, descendants of the army of Shah Ismail I, settled in the mountains near Edremit after the defeat in the Battle of Chaldiran in 1514. By 1819, Edremit continued to occupy its ancient site on the coast and was known as Edremit. According to Henry Alexander Camel Dearborn, Edremit was only populated by a few Greek fishermen. In May 1914, thousands of Muslim refugees who had fled from the Balkans arrived in the town of Edremit and proceeded to ransack the shops and homes of the town's Greek community. According to Arnold J. Toynbee, the Ottoman government armed and organized the refugees. Many Greeks found refuge in the town church before fleeing to the harbor, where they were then granted passage to the neighboring island of Lesbos. Turks continued to massacre or evict Greeks in the following months in surrounding villages. The Greek army occupied the town on the 19th of June 1920 but withdrew in late August 1922, and all remaining Greeks fled or were killed by the Turkish army. Location debate exists as to when Edremit moved to its current site at Edremit. The ancient city was on the coast, 13 kilometers southwest of the modern city and 4 kilometers west of Burhaya. According to Wilhelm Tomacek, Edremit moved to the site of modern Edremit under Trajan. However, it has been argued that there was no cause for this during Trajan's rule, as piracy, the sole cause for such a move, was negligible. Kayepert argued that this move took place in 1109 after the city's destruction in 1093 at the hands of Xerxes. However, scholars note that it is not stated in contemporary sources that the city was rebuilt inland. It has also been argued that the relocation of Edremit took place after its destruction by Genoese pirates in 1197. Edremit continued to sit on the coast at its ancient site until at least the early Ottoman period. Economy. Edremit's economy relies largely on the production of olives, as well as on tourism. Edremit is known as the olive capital of Turkey. Kazdağı National Park, extending around the ancient Mount Ida, is situated within the boundaries of Edremit district and is an important tourist attraction with its natural scenery and a number of picturesque, small villages around it. Demographics. In ethno-cultural terms, the population of Edremit is a mixture of Balkan Turks, descendants of immigrants from Balkans, Aegean Islands, some Circassians, as well as Tartary Turkmens, who pursue their own traditions and lifestyle to this day. A private museum of ethnography in the village of Tartakuzla is one of the rare institutions in Turkey focusing on Tartary culture. Notable people from Edremit. Theodosius III lived in Edremit in 715 AD. Byzantine Emperor George Musalin, Benjamin of Constantinople, Panos Doukarchus, Sabahattin Ali, Halduravsar, Kana Urkan, Melodikis Ilgan Sopata. Twin towns, sister cities. Edremit is twinned with Amalyada, Greece since 2000, Camp Lindfit, Germany since 2009, Erdenet, Mongolia since 2010, Nicolosi, Italy since 2010.